Well, if you gave me a cardboard box and you told me to get creative, I would probably draw a happy face on it and call it a day. But if you're Terry Parvin, the creator of Winifred Street, you make something like this out of cardboard. Yes. Or like this, or like this, or like this. This is Terry, and she is the creator behind all of these beautiful pieces. How are you, Terry?
I'm just doing fabulous today.
I love what you have created, and before we sort of jump right into this, I was sort of asking, I'm like, what did you do before this? Because you said you started this only a year ago.
A year ago in May.
It had nothing to do with crafting.
Nothing to do with crafting. I was in the corporate world, then I was in direct sales for 20 years, and then I just followed my heart a year ago in May and decided to revisit some memories that were created for me when I lived in Minnesota on Winifred Street and decided to create my art adventure.
Well, I love that you're sharing all of these great memories with everybody because everything has a meaning, and we'll get to that here in a second. But let's get started because it starts with something like this. Cardboard box.
Cardboard box.
What do we get lots of these at home, so what?
It comes in the mail. Almost everything that's delivered to you comes in a box of some sort. We throw them away or we hopefully recycle them. But what I do is I cut off the ends.
Okay.
And they're usually 5 by 7, 6 by 6, 4 by 6, and I just go for it. Take a little cuticle stick.
Try that?
Go for it. Just get it right in that little rib there.
So the goal is just to take off the top piece, right?
Just take off an end. Just kind of pop it like that. Give it a little pop. And then just start tearing. And sometimes the whole sheet comes off like that, and you get a nice little corner. Then just go to the next corner.
Now, cardboard is sort of your thing.
I love cardboard.
And how long has cardboard been your thing?
Well, since I started doing this, I started working on cardboard.
Okay.
It's very, very plentiful. It doesn't cost anything, and it gives you a really nice texture when you work with it.
Okay.
See how nice that is?
Yeah, and then I would go the other side too and try?
Just kind of do the next side, the next corner.
Well, I'll continue doing this just because I'm on a mission now. I really want to expose all of this. But what's our step 2 after we do this?
Then the second step we're going to do is I like to prepare my surface with some gesso, which is a surface prep, or just some acrylic paint, usually in a white or an off-white, and just kind of put it on there and give
Most folks would probably have the acrylic paint unless they're total crafters, but it doesn't matter.
Exactly, it doesn't matter. You can see there's just a little bit of difference of color there.
Okay.
And decide at this point too where you're going to put your message, because that's going to be your bottom. You don't want to put your message on these little ribs because it's not going to lay completely flat.
Right.
So make sure that you know which is your top and which is your bottom.
Okay.
Then my second step is I just sprayed these a couple of times with a color wash, which is available in most better craft stores.
And that's what it's called, color wash?
It's called Color Wash.
Okay.
It's by, do you want me to name the brand?
Yeah.
It's right there, Adirondack,
Okay.
by Ranger. And I spray it heavy up here, and then I just take it and I tap it down so you get those little dribbles running down the side there. Let it dry, spray it again, and then you go on to your next step.
Okay, and this is just another option of what you,
This is the second step of this.
So you can sort of see the rust underneath.
Yes, there's your rust, there's your rust under there, and you can kind of see that little bit of white popping through too. Here I used a glimmer mist, and this is to give it a real subtle shimmer. And again, I took the lid off, and I took this and just kind of splattered it a little bit to get these cool little watercolor effect looks.
Okay. But now this one looks like aged, isn't it? And that's because of...
That's the one that I added that distress ink to, where you just take your little applicator. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Go for it. Just tap it on your distress ink. Go around your edges.
Go along.
Just be hard with it. Just let it.
Stephanie, you probably own one of these, don't you?
Distressor?
You have distress ink?
Yeah, I love it.
This is Stephanie. Really, Stephanie should be doing this segment, but I wanted to learn how to do this because this is totally her.
But I like kind of a worn, time-worn, grungy, old, vintagey look to all of my edges.
I didn't know if it was as easy as a distressed ink pad.
And these come in a lot of different colors too. And then I always like to add a little bit more texture. So these are just paint daubers. These are acrylic paints. You can use this acrylic paint and just splatter it on there.
And you took this and you
dabbed it on there, and just add a little bit more interest, a
so
little bit more
you can sort of
texture.
see if there's a little too much here, then maybe even an out of here, and just sort of play with it.
Exactly. You can totally make it your own.
Okay.
And then our next step is where you need to decide, am I going to hang this up or am I just going to prop it like this. So this is detachable right now because I haven't decided what I'm going to do with this yet. But decide how big your message is going to be, because you need to place that here before you place this here.
And I mean, you probably have some special system to do this, but there's people that could just use a computer and
That's
print stuff out.
that's my special system.
Oh, that is? Okay. I thought you were going to tell me it was this
There's
special.
no secret to that one. And this actually has cardboard in it too. Some of the pedals in here are cardboard.
Yeah, it sounds to me like everyone could sort of do their own thing.
You
So
really
let's just
could.
sort of go down here, because this, I mean, you recycled from Starbucks
These are
cups.
coffee, little Huggies from Starbucks. This is another Huggy from another coffee shop. I don't know where this one came from, but see, it's got a nice little bumpy texture, where Starbucks is more ribbed. And there's the little siren, and there's her eyes, and there's my eyes.
And look at this right here. This actually, someone sent you a plate, or you had
When I
some
buy
plates?
dishes, this was in between every single plate, separating the plates so they didn't scratch.
Right.
So I looked at that. My brother had just sent me a picture of sunflowers in his yard. So I said, sunflowers,
see?
fall, eventually in Arizona, let's do some sunflowers. So
And
that's
then
what that is.
This part isn't the cardboard, but this is, and it says,
you can just take that off.
You are the sunshine. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. Can you imagine getting this as a gift? This is fabulous. Well, thank you so much for sharing all this with us.
I enjoyed it. Thank you for having me.
And we're going to have a link to your website,
Yes.
so that if anyone wants to get some step-by-step directions and maybe come to one of your workshops or classes,
Yes,
we'll have it
it's
all on
on
our
my
website.
website.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.